Hi there, welcome to another Q&A session with me, your host Matt Edmondson, where I answer the questions which you have posted as best as I possibly can. And so this week's question is, what businesses are the least risky to start? Now this is a great question, especially if you are thinking of starting a business. You don't want to put yourself in a place where you're taking unnecessary risks, right? So you want to mitigate that risk. So what are the least risky businesses to start? Now, I want to say right at the start, there is a difference between risk and gambling. I'm convinced of it. So gambling is just all about blind luck as far as I'm concerned. It's where I take my money, I go down the horse track, I bet on a football game. I have no real idea necessarily of the outcome. It's sort of, there's a strong chance it's not going to happen, right? And I'm putting that money out there, and if I win big. That's not what I'm talking about. Risk is different, because I think risk, you understand risk, you plan for risk, you can mitigate risk, you can do all this kind of stuff to sort of not necessarily protect you, but reduce your risk. Because let's face it, risk is going to be part of your life if you start a business. Entrepreneurialism is all about risk. It's being happy and willing to live with the risks associated with it, right? It just is. You cannot escape it. It is just part of running a business. So do bear that in mind. That said, if you are going to start a business and you want to start a business, what do I think is the least risky business to start? I honestly believe the least risky business to start is a business that you know about, that you have some insight into, that you think actually I could do really well here, and that the idea is testable online, right? I think e-commerce, digital businesses, for me, are the least risky businesses, because I don't need to go and buy or lease a bricks and mortar store. I don't need to go and buy vehicles or all that sort of stuff, at least not in the early days. I can test my idea quite quickly and quite cheaply. One of my earliest e-commerce websites, we did this. We built the website. I had no idea if people would buy the service that we were selling. So we built the website and put the buy now button on the website. And we literally monitored how many people came to the website and then how many people clicked that button. Now, when they clicked it, it was just a message saying, sorry, this is not available at this moment. But I was interested in that the visitor to buy now ratio. I didn't have any stock. I didn't do any services. I was just testing the idea. It literally cost me next to nothing, because to put that website up was fairly cheap and easy to do, right? The other thing that I could do is, let's say I'm going to sell, what have I got here? Water bottles. Always have a handy water bottle. If I was going to sell these, right? If I think, this is a market I like, I think it's niche, I can get into this. I know about it, I can make a difference in this, so I want to test my idea. I'm going to throw up an e-commerce website, and I'm going to put these online, and I'm going to do some really cool stuff, say on Instagram, which is where I'm going to have my point of difference, or I'm going to have this blog or whatever it is, right? But I'm going to get people to my website. Now, in the first instance, what I don't want to do is have to go and buy 1,000 bottles in 2 different types of colour, right? I just don't, because that's a risk I'm taking, is to invest all that money up front. So what can I do? I could go to a company that makes these or sells these already and try and come up with some kind of drop shipping arrangement. That's another way to test. So I'm not investing money. I'm finding ways in the early days to prove my idea, to build my customer base, to build my market, whilst trying to keep my exposure at an absolute minimum, right? So we launched an e-commerce website a couple of years ago doing exactly that. Ordinarily, the product we wanted to sell on that website, you normally would have to go and buy an awful lot of that product. So I went and negotiated with a company to get some great prices, but without the minimum order quantities, because I didn't want that massive exposure. And I'm glad I didn't, because that website didn't actually work, right? It was a nice idea, it covered its cost, but it didn't really gather the momentum that I was hoping for. And that's the way it was, right? There was risks associated with it. It didn't work, but but I wasn't that exposed, right? So this is a cool thing about setting up a digital business. You can drop ship, you don't have to carry stock, you can test ideas nice and cheaply. The second thing I like about doing digital businesses is actually you can do it by yourself, right? So if I set up a website, I'm here at my own home office, you can tell. It's my wife's desk in the background, which I've yet to finish making, hence the reasons there's no drawer fronts on the desks. You may have noticed. But I'm here in my own home office. That's not easy to say. And guess what? I could run any of my e-commerce businesses from here, right? I genuinely could. And that's a cool thing about digital business. You can run them anywhere and you can do it. You don't need to go and hire the superstars or the really clever dicks. Do you know what I mean? You just don't, not at the start. You can build your own website. You can do your own marketing. You can do your own emails. You can do your own customer service. And I appreciate that might sound a little bit daunting, but you can learn this stuff because I did, right? And if I can do it, you definitely can do it, because I am not anything, super special. That's for dang sure. I just put the work in, right? And if you are thinking about doing a digital business and you do want to learn it, check out the e-commerce mastery course, because over 60 days, we take you from zero to launching and having your business, everything you need to know, right? To grow, launch, and build a wildly profitable e-commerce business. We're going to teach you that in 60 days. So we teach you how to put a site together. We teach you how to do marketing and email and all those kind of things, because you can do it. You don't need to outsource it. You don't need to employ people at the start. Now, that said, I do employ people in my e-commerce business. I have some great staff that work with me, and that's fantastic. But we built that up over a period of time, right? Whilst we were testing the idea, we definitely didn't have the staff that we have now. So digital business, no stock, little stock, you can do it. That was the second one. And the third one is another way to mitigate risk. People say to me all the time, I want to start my own business. I'm trying to figure out when to leave my job, right? When do I leave my job and do this business full time? Like it's an on-off switch. Now, there are some instances when that makes sense. I have to be honest. I know a lot of very successful business people that one day were working, they quit their job and they set up their business. And because they had to make it work, they hustled and they worked hard to make it work, and that's what did it for them. I took a slightly different route, if I'm honest with you, and this is again why digital business works, is I had my main job and I set up a business where I'd work in the evenings, and I slowly built that up until it got to the stage where actually I could leave my job and do that full time. And that's what ends up happening. And digital business, the fact that you can do everything, you can automate so much of the process, right? You can automate emails, you can do all that. Your store is open 24/7 regardless of where you are. So you can work your normal job whilst you're launching this business, and as it grows, right, then you can decide where the shift needs to be. Okay, all you literally have to do is come home and fulfill the orders, unless you start off with dropshipping, in which case you don't even have to do that. Bonus, right? So I hope that's answered your question. This is just some of my thoughts on what I think the least risky business to start is out there as things currently stand here in 2019. So if you are starting a business, I do wish you the best of luck. It is an amazing thing to do. I love being an entrepreneur. I love my lifestyle. I love how it works. I love the fact I can work at home. I can work in the office. We've got great thriving businesses, and I really enjoy helping people get their businesses up and running and thriving. So all that said, I hope it does go well for you. If you're interested, like I say, check out the e-commerce mastery course. If you're going to do anything online, it's really going to be worth it. And if you have any questions, by all means, send them through. Just check out our website, mattedmondson.com, and you will find all the information there. Or reach out and connect with me either on Twitter or Instagram, just /Matt Edmondson. I'm there. All right. So great to see you. Have a great, wonderful day wherever you are. Thanks for watching this video, and I will see you in the next Q&A video coming soon.